What's up guys, in this video I do an interview with Zach Roberts. Zach is a longtime good friend of my family. Zach was really helpful in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey as I actually worked for him and that e-commerce store that we're going to interview in. Zach is an experienced entrepreneur who runs an e-commerce store, and he also runs a fulfillment center out of that same shop where he fulfills orders for other e-commerce stores or other influencers. Zach also has a wedding venue where he hosts weddings for people. That business is also coupled with his wedding bartending service. I've learned a lot of lessons from Zach, and I think you can too, so I really hope you enjoy this interview. Without further ado, here it is.
Hey, what's up guys? So this is Zach Roberts. He owns this e-com shop here, which is Vibe still, right? VYBE, Vibe. He sells cardboard cutout cat houses. You want to tell us how you got into this?
Yeah, for sure. So I was a public school teacher from 2015 until 2020 and loved the kids, hated everything else. And one of my buddies and I are both big cat people, so he came up to me and said, hey, if you want to quit your job, can you turn this pile of cardboard into a cat product? And I, at that point, was like, I will literally do anything to not be in the classroom with a bunch of gross kids anymore. So I found a way to create it overseas, and then from there just got addicted to the grind.
What sparked the idea for cardboard cat houses?
Honestly, it was as simple as we both loved cats. We wanted a product that was in an industry or a field that we love. And the question we asked was, what's cat's favorite thing? And both my business partner and I, Spencer, looked at each other and at the exact same time said cardboard. So we were like, we got to do something with cardboard. And then we just went online, did basic research, found that nobody really was doing it. And the people that are were just bringing it straight from China. And we were like, we can do better than that. And so then we fired it up.
And you also do a lot of fulfillment here, right, for other e-commerce stores?
Yeah, that was the big thing, is when you have one e-commerce store or a single product store, it's very, very difficult to make money when you're doing it, because when you have your first store, you still have all your overhead. You've got labor, warehouse space, and all that good stuff. So the only thing we could figure out to do to counteract that is, because we're already fulfilling, bring in more clients and fulfill different products so that our labor, we can kind of double and triple dip with labor. And then our storage for our store gets cheaper when we're able to bring on other clients and charge them and fulfill their stuff. And then cheaper packaging materials, tape, labels, all that good stuff that we're already doing. So honestly, the fulfillment center has been one of the biggest steps forward for us, really making it more than just kind of a flash in the pan e-commerce product.
Yeah. So is the bulk of your business now in doing that rather than the cat house? Is it still?
So kind of complicated. The bulk of our sales is the cat store. The bulk of our profits is the fulfillment center.
Okay. Service based, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, service based always a little higher.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about any of those margins because the client pays for everything. So it's just the service of actually packaging and fulfilling, and that's fun because Spence and I went from fulfilling items in our own house to getting it out of our house because my wife was going to kill me, to now when we talk to other clients, we can kind of share that same experience of how good it feels to not just package things in your basement.
Nice.
Get yelled at by your significant other.
You guys probably don't know this, but Zach and I grew up in the same town. He was really good friends. My brother still is. And right after I graduated college, I came up here and worked for a while. And at the time, I was doing all the folding the cat houses and boxing them up, which was fun. At the time, you were getting most of your business through Facebook ads, and I know you were just starting Amazon at that time. Mm-hmm. How are you getting most of your sales now for the cat houses?
Yeah, so when you were here, 2 years ago now? 2, 3? Mm-hmm. We were 95% Facebook and Instagram ads direct to our website, and now we're probably 50 to 55% Facebook and Instagram, and now we've just kind of diversified that out with all the new tracking stuff that goes on with advertisements not going necessarily to the people you want them to go to. So now we're, I'd say 55% Facebook and Instagram. We're probably at like 35% Google, and then Amazon grows. It's just a lot slower.
That's more SEO based, right? Like it takes time to figure that out. Yeah.
And there's just a lot. Amazon favors cheapest possible, and really they prioritize Prime, which most Amazon Prime items are just little things from China that get shipped over to the Amazon warehouse that they can just pull out of a box, put it in a package.
How does that work? Like if you want to do Prime, do you have to give them a supply?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But for us, just not possible, because we would basically have to ship a pallet of cat castles, and you can't get enough castles on a pallet to make it worth doing that, or I would
Okay.
just have to drop them off all the time.
You guys had a lot of variations too from what I remember. Too, to
Exactly.
make it hard. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we stay away from Prime, which we've kind of found a little subsector of Amazon where people are looking for not Amazon Prime, knowing that they're most likely supporting American made, which helps
Yeah.
us a ton.
You also run a wedding bartending business, correct?
Yeah, that's actually taken over as
Yeah.
by far the biggest business now. So
Yeah.
that is the overwhelming majority.
Yeah. So for you guys that don't know, Zach, I suppose you run, is it 3 businesses as the cat house and the warehousing for the other companies? Is that considered 1 or is that
That's 2. So
That's 2,
fulfillment center,
3 businesses?
e-commerce store, which is the cat store,
Mhm.
and then a wedding vendor company. So we do like around 200 events a year, bartending, 50 to 60 events, wedding planning, which is a new expansion for us.
Mhm.
And then just ran into an opportunity with a family friend, and now we're contracted out to run a wedding venue that we will be purchasing.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, that's right. The one in
Wayland.
Wayland there?
Yep,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
Centennial
yeah,
Barn.
that's very nice. Cool.
But that's the biggest thing I've learned in doing the cat store. I'm super glad I did that first, because physical products are so much more difficult to do long term than service based businesses.
Yeah.
So
100%.
in service, my wife and I can scale it like
Mhm.
infinitely. There's no stopping it. We already feel like it's grown out of control, and we haven't even left Michigan yet. So
Yeah.
we got every other state and hopefully international one day as well. Whereas the physical product space, you have to have so much more capital to get it up and going.
Right.
Whereas service-based, you just got to find a skill, learn it, perfect it, find
Yeah.
other people you trust that can do it, and go from there.
Anything else you want to share?
The journey over the last really 8 years, but really going full into the entrepreneurship the last 5 years, has been absolutely insane. Like, everything I expected to happen didn't happen, which was really good for me, because being a public school teacher before, I was very just like in a rhythm. This is what I do: clock out, go home, play video games, do whatever. And now there is no clocking out, and things keep me on my toes all the time. And I've learned not to really care about the little things, because the big things and the big vision is really what's important to us and where we're going. And you can figure out the other stuff.
So what's your goal for the next 5-10 years?
I'll kind of divide that up. So the goal for the cat store is to expand into either another keystone product, so something different than the cardboard cat castle, or go into the dog section, but that's a ton of work. But either way, expand the cat business, just kind of one peg up. Fulfillment center, we have 6 clients right now. I'd really like to be at 15 to 20. And then definitely in the next 5 years. And then wedding business wise, my main goal is to have a general manager that is hired out on salary that can handle the majority of the work, so I don't have to go on all the tours of the venue and email every client every day and talk on the phone. Not that I don't love doing that, but it gets to the point when we're doing hundreds of events a year where it's just impossible.
That's where we're at the cleaning business too. Where it's like all the overhead, like the general day-to-day stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If the client has an issue, it's like I want somebody else. I can go and send it in there.
Right.
I don't have to drive over and go do it.
Exactly.
I don't mind doing it, but it's also like the next step at least in that business
Mhm.
for us.
But it's also a double-edged sword, because if you're anything like me, I just don't trust people. Well, I
Yeah.
trust people, but
Yeah.
not when it comes
That's
to like
tough.
my personal stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I find you got to pay more for the better people.
You
So,
do.
yeah.
But then even like a person like me, where I don't stop and I just work all the time, even when I do hire out somebody else, I'm still going out and doing those things,
Mhm.
which just drives me crazy, because then I'm like, all right, now I'm paying someone to do it and I'm still doing it
yeah,
and
yeah,
trying to get out of that.
yeah.
But to me, that's where neither of my 3 businesses have been to the point where I could hire out a manager, but they're finally getting to that point. So that's when I think, hopefully, I can find someone higher paying that I really, really trust, and then they can hire out the more entry level positions, and then hopefully I can relax a little bit.
Do you have any piece of advice for anyone getting started in entrepreneurship or starting a wedding or e-commerce or fulfillment center?
Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing was not wasting time focusing on things that don't matter. So for me, the things that I put way too much time, effort, and money into is logo designs, business mottos, merch, swag type stuff that you think is cool, and then going out on Facebook and social media and saying, hey, friends and family, I started this business, and then, grandma buys something, aunt buys something, and then you get like that dopamine hit, that makes you feel really, really good, but then you just run into a wall and stop. So the biggest thing for me was just nailing down the skill portion. So with the wedding business, it's being the absolute best wedding bartenders, wedding planners, and wedding venue in Michigan. And then for the cat store, it is improving the product year over year, never stopping. As hard as it is to listen to feedback, taking that feedback, getting better. And then fulfillment center, kind of like the bartending business, just hone in on the skill, and then your service is so good that you don't have to worry about the other stuff.
Nice.
And logo designs and business names and mottos and all that stuff comes after, but the number one thing is getting those sales generated right off the bat, because nothing else matters.
You did tell me once too that the most important thing about running a store like this is wearing sweatpants.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that is one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah.
And I work a lot with them, and they're all what I would call suits. And
Yeah.
I'll go into meetings with them, and they're asking me questions, and they're all decked out in suits, and you're just wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome. I think that's all the questions I have for you.
Perfect. Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you doing this.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are, or you know somebody who is an entrepreneur and wants to talk about business on this channel, please leave a comment below, because I want to continue to make videos like this to inform people of the experiences other entrepreneurs have. If you're interested in working with Zach, I'm going to leave links below to his e-commerce shop, his fulfillment center, and his wedding venue. He hosts weddings here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Please subscribe.